Friends, Convocation June 2022 is about to begin. For all of our guests in Convocation Mall, please listen closely to a few important announcements for your enjoyment and safety during the ceremony. During the ceremony, guests should remain seated and keep the aisleways clear. This is required by fire regulation. In the case of an emergency evacuation, follow the directions of event personnel to the assembly point, which is located down the stairs behind you on the track and field outside the gym. Please proceed carefully, slowly and carefully. Those with accessibility needs should proceed to the Halpern Center located northeast of Convocation Mall. There is a water station outside of Maggie Benston Center, which is on your right. Reusable water bottles are available for purchase at the Spirit Shop in the Diamond Family Auditorium, which is on your right if you forgot yours. SFU blankets and other gifts and mementos are available for purchase from the SFU Spirit Shop in the Diamond Family Auditorium, which is on your right. In consideration of other guests, we ask that you refrain from conversation during the ceremony and please put cell phones on silent. For those near and afar, we encourage you to share your photos and messages on social media using hashtag #MySFUGrad. If you're able, please rise for the academic procession.
Tnoyap in Equatel. Tnoyap se aichit. Yuan min hat squallowin chit. Tlanemis schotmishol stalmach. Quis elch chit. Wakochosa mate to tewa. Chit ta suck suckwaitin. Nesh. Nesh quis snaz. Ta sna. Chit to tewa. Yuan min hat squallowin chit. Quis aichit a to te. Eight tewa a swayap squile. Quisnayap me tlak nomot. Eight shop a sop. Eight shop a sop tats cool out tuchyap. Amen. Namen yuan men hot squallow and chit tuchnam to noyap. Chit quinman tomiap. Elk to noyap. Say I chit. Eight chit lolam to slolum. Tuchnam quis a yatyos chit to snachwes. Nesh to slolum na. Lolam, nes chatsalanoch slolum, quis naz. Et lanemes chot mistalmoch, et chit kayachten tuchnam tenoya, quis elchit kochosam et tewa. Want to raise our hands to each and every one of you here today, welcoming you here to a place close to what we called Saksakwaitan. We called this place Saksakwaitan, which means many arbutus trees. And here, we're so glad to be here on your special day. Congratulations to each and every one of you, Stuta'och, the students, for achieving what you've achieved and all the hard work you've put to get to where you are now. We're so glad for each and every one of you. The ones you see here, standing here, the singers are also in some way, all of us are connected to SFU through the Schotmish Language Immersion Program. We're either current students, instructors, or alumni of the program. And thanks to this program, it was a big help. And thanks to SFU, it was a big help in the efforts of revitalizing our language of the Schotmish people. And in the recent 6 years, there's been an explosion of speakers for our language. And it's the first time in a long time that we've heard our language spoken in this capacity. So we're so grateful to be here with SFU, also acknowledging our dear grandmother, dear Auntie Sichwalia, for standing here also as a language warrior for our people and a cultural warrior for our people that have helped bring us to where we are today. But this day is your day, students, and I want to congratulate you again on all the hard work you've achieved to get to where you are now. Raising our hands to you. Chinkunman tomiap seam osiam.
On Hoth and Squawin, Quisklake, Quachnomi, Tenoyapan, Siayachet, to Squales, to Seats. I'm really glad that you all came here today, all of you, my friends. Chen Quinman Tomi, Manman, to Squales, to Seats. The young men that you see here today are all my grandnephews, and I call them grandson. And actually, they are more fluent in our language than I am because of SFU and the language program. And I really fought hard and believed and said we needed to bring back the language. And they've done it, what we wanted to do. And have always had my support, and now I ask them how to say things. So hands up to SFU. I am Sequalia, also known as Ann Wannick, and I'm a Squamish Ochameok. I'm from the Squamish Nation. I'm also one of the elected councillors of the nation and a spokesperson. And most importantly, I'm an alumni of SFU Beatty School of Business. I just received last year my Master's of Business Administration degree, Indigenous Business and Leadership from SFU Beatty School of Business. So I proudly wear my alumni pin. And I'm also the SFU Burnaby Campus Indigenous Student Center elder and elder for SFU for many events. And that makes me really proud to be able to be standing here before you saying, Kayachtan, I welcome all of you. Isn't it an awesome feeling to be standing here and knowing that you have done all the programs, you've done all your research paper, you've done all the data collection, you've done your references and kept them in good order so you could add them to your paper and submit it 5 to 3 minutes before the deadline. And go, whoo. And then you wait for the grades. That's torture. I went through it, so I know where you're at. And today makes it real. Today makes it real. And I had a virtual convocation June 25th, 2021. And on May 5th came here for my welcome back convocation. And after I went across and I hugged the Chancellor and President and I sat down and went, now it's real. But you get to shake their hands. I took elders' prerogative and gave them a hug. Now I'm going to share with you a teaching that my great-grandfather, Siqualtanta, Dominic Charlie, and my Longhouse elders share, that we all have the inner energy, a force. And that inner energy, Grandpa said, helps you in life, whether you're doing culture and language and the traditions, it helps you. In your other hand, you have a pen or pencil. Now I say you have an iPad or a laptop, and you have trouble or at work or hard times. It's this other side that helps you in your inner energy. And he said we receive from Creator through the top of our head into our energy. And this is our spiritual way of being. It's not religion. It's not anything connected to it. It's spiritual and believing in what you have. And you all believe in yourselves. And then when my children were young and I had to take them to Star Wars, the first movie, I saw Obi-Wan teaching Luke about the Force. And I went, whoa, that's what Grandpa taught me. We all have an inner energy, and we can send energy to each other and receive and send prayers and medicine. And the reason I share this is because you can't block your energy. So you can't be staying there with your arms crossed, your hands like this, or your hands like this. So now we're going to do Tai Chi yoga breathing. And just open your hands, and we'll do downward dog to get you all limbered up. And my elders taught me laughter is medicine, and that's how I'm trying to get you to relax. And open your hands and feel the awesome energy, the beautiful energy in this space right now. This legend being created of your graduation, Convocation 2022. This is a legend. And you just breathe. And I'm going to sing my namesake's part of my namesake song, Sequalia Slolum Ha Squal, greeting of the day. Then I'm going to do a prayer while I sing. Pray for each other, all your families, friends, and communities. And I can see way back there someone, I'll see if you have your arms like this because your shoulders go in. And I'll come use you for my drum. to make you uncross them. So open your hands and let's be spiritual and human beings together in Chomo and Squalwyn, one heart and one mind. Chenquai mentomi kakakanak JCM yonso tenoyap and manman squalwin to squals to seats yonsio manman sequedal chet yop squalwin siai chet squalwin o chet squalwin. Asking you, Creator, to watch over all your children gathered here today and all of their family, friends, and the communities where they're from and also where they now live, work, and play. Put a shield of safety and protection around each and every one of them and help them with their squalwin, the feelings in your hearts and minds, your emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual health and well-being. Asking you, Creator, to watch over all the graduates as they carry on in their canoes, journeying in life and paddling forward into their futures, to help them make the right decisions and protect and guide them, and asking you to watch over all our families and to let today be a yet one up an excellent work where we in Chomo come together with one heart and one mind to chen stwai, stand and work together to hold each other up, support one another, and help each other. And let the speakers today share their words with Winox's respect and have us all listen with Winox's respect and go away with good feelings into the rest of the day. Tama Kwetsi Snachum, those are my words.
Please be seated. Thank you for sharing that very warm welcome, Elder Sequoia. Elder Sequoia, as you heard, is a member of the Squamish Nation and SFU Elders Program. I'd also like to take a moment to pay my respects to elders past and present. I'd also like to thank the cultural representatives from the Squamish Nation and the members of the world-famous SFU Pipe Band for opening this ceremony in a good way. Please join me in giving them our thanks and appreciation. It's an honor to be here today on the traditional, unceded, and continuously occupied territories of the Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, Musqueam, and Coquitlam peoples. Indigenous languages became endangered in the last century as they were outlawed by successive governments. As a native English speaker, I speak these Indigenous languages today to contribute to their revival and to enhance my own and our collective learning. In the shared territory on which our university sits, there are two Indigenous languages that were historically spoken. I recognize the Hunkaminam and Squamish-speaking peoples have been in relationship with this land since time immemorial, and the place names they use are linked to activities or to the surrounding environment. We're privileged to gather here on what is now known in English as Burnaby Mountain, but was first known, as we heard, as Tlaklakpuetan by the Squamish people, which means where the bark gets peeled in the spring because of all of the bounty of arbutus trees that used to be here. And Saltooth is the Tsleil-Waututh place name for Burnaby Mountain. The motifs on the regalia that President Johnson and I are wearing today were selected by Squamish Hereditary Chief Janice George and Willard Buddy Joseph. The motifs represent the First Peoples and the food that they harvested right here on Burnaby Mountain. We're both deeply honored to wear this regalia as SFU, and indeed our country, continue on our paths towards reconciliation. I'd now like to invite Mr. Jason Spence to lead us in the singing of O Canada. Jason is an alumnus who has recently returned to SFU for a second degree. Give him a shout out for that. And is a member of the SFU choir. For those of you in Convocation Mall and online, please join us in Rise, if you are able, for the singing of our national anthem.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, Jason. That was lovely. We have such talented students here at SFU. Yes, please be seated. It is my pleasure and privilege to declare Convocation assembled for the granting of degrees. Madam President, members of the Board of Governors and Senate, faculty, honored guests, graduands, and friends, my name is Tamara Vrooman, and I am the Chancellor of Simon Fraser University. We are delighted and honored to have you join us for Convocation. In attendance today are a number of distinguished guests in the audience and on the platform, including members of Senate, vice presidents, deans, and faculty. I'd like to particularly acknowledge Dr. Penny Ballem, who will be conferred an honorary doctorate of science this afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Yes. Patrick Lougheed, President of the SFU Alumni Association, our SFU Alumni Association Legacy Parents and Families are also joining us. And a special welcome to all of you here in Convocation Mall and to those of you you who are joining us probably from a less windy place online. Please take a moment to tell us where that less windy place is in the chat. Honored guests, President Johnson, it's so wonderful to see all of your smiling faces together again. After the last 2 years, I don't think I will ever again in my life tire of seeing smiling faces of people joined together in celebration of life's special moments. And to the graduands, well, you did it. You must be so proud of all that you have achieved. I know I am. I'm also inspired. This has been a very challenging time in which to study, to graduate, and especially to try and plan for the future. But today, I don't want to dwell on what you had to do and endure to get here. Let's just say the world threw more than a few curveballs your way. But yet, you persevered. And now, after years of hard work, you join a long line of SFU graduates who have shaped this university and indeed our wider world. We owe you and all of those who supported you a deep debt of gratitude. When I was in university, I majored in history. I loved it. It really helped me to make sense of things, why things were the way they were and why they weren't. I was tremendously inspired by the hard work, creativity, and compassion of the people and the times that I studied. I was inspired by their example of what it really took to succeed and to thrive. It motivated me to think of my own role in creating a better future for myself, my family, the businesses I'm privileged to lead, my community, and my country. Back then, I won't say how long back, but suffice to say it was almost 30 years ago. BC was a very different place. Almost 1 million fewer people lived in Greater Vancouver. The last residential school had only been closed for a few years. Same-sex couples were not allowed civil unions, much less a marriage license. There wasn't, and never had been before, a Chinese-Canadian member of BC's legislature. The Vancouver Club had just started admitting women. It's hard to believe. And the Canucks hadn't yet become a Stanley Cup dynasty. No, wait, that hasn't changed in 30 years. Poor Canucks, huh? My point is simple. At times, the world can look pretty messed up. Sometimes the challenges of the present can feel so daunting. It makes it difficult to imagine a clear path to a better future. But I want you to know that what you're feeling is not a new feeling. I know from my studies that at many times throughout history, other generations have felt the same way. And yet, they persevered. And they gave us the platform on which so many of the strengths that you now contribute were built. And when you put it into historical perspective, there's a lot to celebrate now. You, the class of 2022, reflect so much about what is changing for the better. You're probably the most diverse, engaged, and connected SFU graduates in our history. Simon Fraser University is a more inclusive, more sustainable, and more innovative university because of you. You pushed us to confront the biggest challenges of our time, from climate change to the legacy of colonialism. You fought for better mental health care, more housing, and improved public transit. Generations of students will have you to thank for shortening their commute times to Burnaby Mountain, thanks to the gondola. You helped build new businesses and bring important new ideas to market. You created astounding and important and beautiful works of art, poetry, and literature. You joined in the battle against a pandemic to help protect public health, whether through co-ops, volunteer work, or simply by looking out for those of you around you. And most importantly, you participated in an academic community committed to open inquiry and the free exchange of ideas. At a time of disinformation and increased polarization, the values you learned and applied here at Simon Fraser must surely endure. Graduands, you wrote your own history chapter in SFU's story, and I'm here to tell you today it is a very good one. And now, you'll go on from here and write new ones. Looking out at all of you, I have enormous confidence in you and our future. Your generation will do great things. As you do so, I want you to know that you will always belong to the ever-growing SFU family, made up of people from all walks of life and every part of the world, connected together by this extraordinary institution. So as you leave this ceremony today to celebrate your achievement, know that you're always welcome back. On behalf of everyone at SFU, faculty, staff, alumni, students, and supporters, it is my pleasure to extend our heartfelt congratulations on your convocation and graduation. Well done. It is now my pleasure to call upon the president of our university, Dr. Joy Johnson, for her address. Dr. Johnson.
Thank you very much. Madam Chancellor, thank you so much. It really is a privilege to stand before you today on the unceded traditional territories of the Squamish, the Tsleil-Waututh, the Coquitlam and Musqueam peoples. As a settler on these lands, I recognize a responsibility to address and repair relations with Indigenous peoples whose lands we occupy, and acknowledging this is an important step towards reconciliation. I want to begin by welcoming all of the parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, friends, and loved ones who have joined us today. And I'd like to extend a big welcome to the Graduands who are here today and extend my best wishes to those of you online who couldn't join us. You are incredible. Your spirit, your resilience, your dogged determination has reminded us all once again why we do this work and why education and knowledge matter so much to our lives and to our world. I am grateful to Chancellor Vrooman for giving us some historical perspective today. And she is right. We have come a long way. And at the same time, we have many challenges still to face. An ongoing global pandemic, racial injustice, democracy threatened in the Ukraine and around the world. And yet, here we are, grateful to gather, grateful to be together in person, grateful to celebrate the SFU community and each person who is a part of it. It really is a tribute to the power of education to change lives and build community. At university, we work hard, you have worked very hard to earn your credential, and it's an enormous personal accomplishment. You should be very proud. I trust that what you have studied at SFU will help you find successful and fulfilling careers. All of the evidence suggests that it will. What you have learned at university is in high demand right across our economy. But as important as that is, and it is very important, I also hope for something more. I hope that your time here has nurtured within you a sense of belonging, of common purpose, and of community. Think about it. When you applied to SFU, you did so on your own, at your computer, one individual among many thousands hoping to get accepted to SFU. Today, you graduate from SFU in communion with many of those same people, fellow graduates with a shared experience and with the tools you need to play a part in healing, repairing, and engaging the world. Over my life as a researcher, a teacher, and a university administrator, I have seen this awakening time and again. Never more so, though, in these last 2 years of real hardship and sacrifice, and never more so than here at SFU. I'm going to give you an example. Last month, we had our Welcome Back ceremonies. Elder Sequalia talked about being at the Welcome Back ceremonies for graduates who had attended Convocation online due to COVID-19. On May the 5th, I shook the hands of hundreds of grads as they finally crossed the stage in person. I stood up on stage, gave an address, just like I'm doing today, and at the same time, in the Student Union building, just over there, we had SFU Indigenous Student Center and SFU First Nations, Métis, and Inuit Student Associations hosting a table to share information and resources around the National Day of Awareness for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women, Girls, and Two-Spirit People. I just felt so privileged that the day in which we were celebrating the work of our graduates, who are really already doing extraordinary work around the world, we were also witnessing SFU students here at SFU doing important healing and educational work within the SFU community. I want to take a moment today to say thank you to our Indigenous students, First Nations, Métis, and Inuit Student Association for their work supporting Indigenous students at SFU. Of course, that is only one example. I'm inspired by SFU Applied Science students who participated in this year's inaugural Computing Science Undergraduate Research Symposium and shared their findings on everything from automated plant care to evaluating persistent memory range indexes. We'll talk about that later. And by the SFU Health Sciences students who helped keep our community safe and supported BC's COVID-19 response by taking co-op positions at vaccination clinics here in the Lower Mainland. I'm inspired by the many projects submitted by students to the SFU Community Engagement Competition. Projects like Art for Comfort, which brings people together to create a virtual quilt that will hold communities' memories and hopes and dreams. And the BC Newcomer Camp, which aims to provide free educational programs to help refugees adjust to their new homes. I'm inspired by the countless acts of kindness and empathy I see in our community each day, by the work of SFU staff and faculty who are so dedicated to creating a vibrant student learning experience. To put it simply, seeing all of you today, seeing the impact you have made in our community, and knowing the impact that you will make in the world, that gives me hope. It makes the challenges that we face feel small. It inspires me like nothing else. And so from the bottom of my heart, and on behalf of everyone here at SFU, I want to say thank you. And in conclusion, I want to say hearty congratulations.
Thank you very much, President Johnson. SFU's honorary degree is the highest honor conferred by the university. Degrees are awarded to distinguished individuals in recognition of their scholarly, scientific, or artistic achievement, or in recognition of exceptional contributions to the public good through professional or philanthropic activity. Their achievements celebrate our university's values and serve as an inspiration. They're role models for our students, graduates, alumni, and our community. The honorary degree will now be conferred. To present the honorary degree candidate, Dr. Penny Ballem, I'm pleased to welcome Dr. Caroline Colleen. Dr. Colleen is the Canada 150 Research Chair in Mathematics for Infection, Evolution, and Public Health, and Professor in the Mathematics Department. You may recognize her name as she and her research was cited many times throughout the world during the pandemic for her impressive modeling and predictive capabilities. She co-directs the Canadian Network for Modeling Infectious Disease and the new Pacific Institute on Pathogens, Pandemics, and Society. Dr. Colling.
Thank you. Madam Chancellor, it is in no small part due to the outstanding contributions of today's honorary degree recipient that we're able to gather here in person once again. Dr. Penny Ballem currently leads BC's COVID-19 immunization program, one of the most successful vaccination campaigns in the world, but that's only the most recent highlight of her long and accomplished career in healthcare and public service. Born in Montreal, Dr. Ballem earned her medical degree from UBC in 1978. A much-lauded hematologist, teacher, researcher, and women's health advocate, Dr. Ballem now serves as a clinical professor of medicine at UBC, a fellow of the Canadian Academy of Health Sciences, and a senior fellow of the Dalla Lana School of Public Health at the University of Toronto. Beyond the Academy, Dr. Ballem has distinguished herself as a public servant, generating a legacy of programs and policies that continue to benefit our province. She was a driving force behind the founding of BC Women's Hospital and was our longest-serving Deputy Minister of Health, overseeing the creation of the province's current structure of health authorities while managing serious public health threats, including SARS and avian flu. Later, during her 7 years as Vancouver City Manager, Dr. Ballem advanced initiatives to secure more supportive and affordable rental housing, strengthen reconciliation and mental health, and transform Vancouver into one of the world's greenest cities. In 2019, she was appointed chair of Vancouver Coastal Health, and last year took the reins of Immunize BC, delivering life-saving jabs into the arms of more than 90% of BC's eligible population. The author of more than 60 peer-reviewed articles and a respected bridge builder between health practitioners and policymakers, Dr. Ballem's counsel is widely sought by federal and provincial leaders. She has served many boards, and her honors include the Queen's Golden Jubilee Medal for Public Service, the Marion Powell Award from Women's College Hospital for Leadership in Women's Health, and the Cannell Award from the Society of Obstetricians and Gynecologists of Canada for contributions to women's reproductive health. Madam Chancellor, Penny Ballem embodies SFU's values of excellence, engagement, and inclusion. For her enduring contributions to medicine and the well-being of all British Columbians, I ask that you now confer upon her the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
That's Penny. She's always at the front, getting ahead of things. I said, I have to confer the degree before you get to make the speech. Penny Ballem, it is my distinct pleasure, by virtue of the authority vested in me and in the Senate of this university, I hereby admit you to the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa. Congratulations. Penny Ballem will be hooded by Dr. Catherine DeVerne, Vice President, Academic and Provost, and Mr. Tom Nault, University Registrar and Executive Director, Student Enrollment.
It is now with pleasure that I call upon Dr. Penny Ballem to deliver the Convocation Address.
Pat, what do you think? Well, I'm a bit choked up. But Chancellor Vrooman, Elder Sequoia, President Johnson, members of the Senate, Dr. Colleen, distinguished guests, and my wonderful family and friends, and most importantly, all of you graduands, look at you all. 50 years ago, I received my Bachelor of Science at McGill University. And, you know, Tamara and I, Chancellor Vrooman, have worked together for a long time, and she said it was 20 years ago, but for me it was 50 years ago, and some things never change. Prime Minister Trudeau declared the War Measures Act in my last year at McGill as I graduated. So what goes around comes around, and as Dr. Johnson has said, we survive, we prosper, we have our bad years, but we persevere and the world continues to build and be a better place. And you're going to be all a part of that. I'm incredibly humbled and honored to receive this degree, especially from Simon Fraser. As you know, Simon Fraser is a university with a strong commitment to academic excellence. But most importantly, for all of you and our whole community, it's an organization and a university with a strong commitment, as you've heard, to our community, our diverse community, our First Peoples community. And that is what makes it unique and very special, and such a privilege for me to carry forward honorary doctorate from Simon Fraser. And to be receiving this degree, along with all of you, I feel like I'm home. The Faculty of Applied Science, the Faculty of Health Sciences. I've spent my whole life and career working with colleagues from those disciplines. And I think, you know, you as graduates have made such a difference, along with your faculty and staff that have assisted us in this province to overcome some of the massive challenges we've had during this pandemic. It's many, many people from this university who have actually helped us. And as Dr. Johnson highlighted, many of you have worked in our vaccination clinics, but I just want to recall a night that I phoned your president because I had a group of people who were trying to sort out PCR tests and bag them into individual slots so we could send them to people's homes and allow them to test at home. And we didn't have enough people, and we literally had millions of tests, and nobody told us when they came to us they would have to be sorted. And I phoned up your president, and she immediately said, "No problem, Penny. We'll send a team over to help." At 11 o'clock at night, start picking swabs out of plastic bags, little vials, you've all used them, those little vials, put them in different plastic bags, and then bundle them up and give them out around the province for people to use. I feel very lucky. I grew up in a family that really valued science and the technology disciplines. And I've had the opportunity, you know, to leverage that training, as you will, over my whole career. And I think the question that I remember having as I sat in seats like yours to be honored with a degree is, well, now what am I going to do? And I know that some of you, you know, there are people who know from the time they're 4 years old what they want to do when they grow up. But I think most of us don't really know. And I think as we think about the world and it's changing, how could you possibly know what you're going to be doing over a career of 50, 60 years? And for me, that was my experience. I started off, you know, ultimately as a physician and practiced medicine. But as I had opportunities present themselves over many years, I've had the chance to do a whole range, wide range of things that it never, ever occurred to me as I stood up to walk across the stage to get my Bachelor's of Science that I would ever, A, have an interest in, or B, want to do. But for me, what I always knew, it was about moving the dial. It was about making change that had a positive impact and doing work that makes a difference for people and the well-being of our community. And as Dr. Johnson and Chancellor Vrooman have said, the work is hard. We do have a lot of challenges, there's no doubt. Some of them are old challenges that we've had forever, and others are new that we've never faced before. A heat dome in Vancouver and British Columbia, like who ever heard of a heat dome? These are things that are going to change, and our lives will, continue to be challenged by new things and old things that we haven't yet solved. But I think the hard work of trying to solve those problems is incredibly helped by the rigor of the training that all of you have had, on which you can build in order to develop a further array of competencies that allow you to really actually help solve some of those really big problems. And sometimes I think we get discouraged and we think it's not possible. And I want to tell you, it is possible. It is possible. And I think the last year that I've had is really been a sentinel year in my career to realize, having started off absolutely terrified, to be asked to help and lead the vaccination program for the whole population of BC in a tight time frame. I think we know that there are ways that we can work that actually can solve problems, and in a time frame that's relevant, that's not too late. And you are fortunate because, as you've heard, you have the advantage of having gained your degree from an institution that really cares about having graduates that are ready for the world and that have the values and the force and the attitude of we can do it, we can help, we can solve things. And you need to make a difference. We need you. We have a lot of problems on our plate, and we have some incredible opportunities, but we need more people, and we need more leaders who can work together to move the dial in a scale and in a time frame that is going to make a difference. What I learned through my career is, on top of the platform of the discipline of science and ultimately medicine, that taking other opportunities and the seasoning of your work as a leader, as a team member, is what actually builds on your fundamental foundational discipline that you're going to be convocated for today, and it allows you then to to move around and actually find opportunities to help out in areas you would never consider. I became a city manager as a doctor, and I remember the first week that I was there, and I met with all the senior engineers, and they just stared at me, and they're like, "You are a doctor, what do you possibly know about a city?" And it was a good question. I thought, whoa, that's a bit scary. You're right. But it's interesting, I told them, well, I grew up in a family of engineers, and they started to look a little friendlier. And then I told them I'd written the sewage regulation as a deputy minister, and that kind of got me over the hump for that first week. When I first went to the government as a deputy minister, I think Tamara, Vrooman, your Chancellor, will tell you, it was a terrifying experience for me. And because you think that, well, I've worked with government, I know how it works, and you haven't got a clue. You haven't got a clue, and that's the challenge of moving sideways and up and horizontally out of your zone of comfort and your foundational skill set. But it's a really good thing to do, and it makes you humble, and you learn about other people, and it's very similar to reconciliation, where we're learning from Elder Sequoia and the leaders of our First Nations people and our Indigenous community and our Métis about our history as a land, as a country, and all the things that we need to know to heal it, which the First Peoples of Canada know better than any of us. Leading the COVID vaccine project in our province was, as I said, probably the scariest project I'd ever taken on and had the privilege of doing. And I do want to put in a plug for our leadership in British Columbia, Dr. Henry, and the government from the Premier and the Minister on down, who actually allowed the science and the public health leadership to actually set the journey and set the stage and, do the direction. I think we're very lucky in Canada and in British Columbia, and I think the results speak for themselves. We have fared well. We have had a lot of loss, but generally on the world stage, when you compare us, we are back in motion. We are here today. We are doing things in person again. Our economy is rolling. It's not easy, and we have a lot of catch-up and healing to do because it's been a really tough time, but we are in business again, and that is so wonderful to see. The vaccine program required, all the elements of sort of seasoning on a platform of strong disciplines to actually get the job done. And I just want to share with you, as I close, just some of the things that were so important on the small team that I had the privilege of working with, who I had the ability to handpick, none of whom came from healthcare. They'd never been in any business related to healthcare before. But they had that seasoning, and they had foundational skills in finance, logistics, communications, system integration, and I was the only one from healthcare. And together, what we did was work with the many different teams and partners in the government, across government, in the health authorities, in the community, in the business sector, in other governments, to actually bring that complicated job all together. And what are the things that were, as I look back at that, were so important in this first year of our program? First of all, the public. Keep the public in mind. That's who has to be on your radar. And as we know, as we go about our jobs, sometimes it's hard to, you lose sight of that. So it's about the public. It's about clear goals. Protect our most vulnerable, and then the rest of the population. Protect our healthcare system for everyone who needed it, and then return our community and our economy to good health. Good data. Robust data, not perfect data. You're never going to have perfect data. But you've got to have good data, and you've got to have it regularly, and you have to be able to understand it. And translating complicated data into things that Mrs. McWhinney, if she picked up your PowerPoint that you left on the bus, could read it and understand it. And that's what you want. And that's one of the most critical learnings for me. But you can have all the data that you want, but if you can't translate that into something you could show to your grandmother and say, look, Grandma, look what I'm doing. This is what's happening today, and that's what you want. And that's a really important part. Resilience for change and the need to pivot. You remember the policies around vaccines, they changed every week. And every week we were turned around having to go here, go there. And you can't afford to just be too tired or it's too hard. You just have to have that resilience. You got to have the force to just say, okay, let's go over there. Integration, policy, systems, operations, and communications, they got to be tight if you're going to be effective and keep your public confident. And relationships. I would say relationships, probably the most important. Safe, respectful, generous, and supportive. Leave your baggage behind when you've had a fight with someone over some issue that day. Move on, come back, and go at it the next day to get the job done. And laugh a lot. Laughter is the best medicine. It brings us joy, it's close to the heart, and it helps us diffuse tension and get the job done. And I think I grew up in a family that laughed a lot, and I've enjoyed laughter and fun in every part of my career. And I really encourage you. So I'm throwing you the torch today. I wish for all of you graduands as much stimulation, fun, and incredible opportunities as I've had during my career as a result of my training in science. You continue to build on your education and your work experience, and remember that Simon Fraser has prepared you for this. You're our future, and this is an important milestone today. And from my heart, I wish you the very, very best and congratulate all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ballem. You definitely have moved the dial, and you have definitely encouraged all of us to also be part of moving the dial. So thank you. Thank you so much. And you are also now part of the SFU Alumni. As part of Convocation, the Alumni Association will present a Simon Fraser University alumni pin to graduates after they leave the stage. Our alumni are incredibly important to us, and we are pleased that this symbolic presentation will launch you on your new role as an alumni of SFU. Mr. Patrick Lougheed received a Bachelor of Science in Computing Science in 2004 and received a Master's in Education in 2012. He is also the current president of the SFU Alumni Association. I invite Patrick to the lectern to bring greetings to the graduands. Patrick.
Thank you, President Johnson. Good afternoon, maybe, to SFU's newest alumni. Today, your relationship with SFU evolves. You're now officially members of SFU's alumni community, a community of change makers, problem solvers, leaders, collaborators, and industrious alumni around the globe. Wherever you go, SFU alumni will be cheering you on. Staying connected to SFU provides you with opportunities to learn, grow, and thrive through local, national, and international events, career resources, library services, and many other value-added benefits. As alumni, you now serve as ambassadors for SFU in your community. Through your journey, you will also inspire current and future students to dream, to strive for excellence, and to make their own mark on the world. So please stay connected to SFU alumni. We want to hear from you, and we want to have the chance to celebrate your successes. As you cross the stage today and receive your alumni pin, be proud of your accomplishments and everything it took to be in this moment. Thank you all for investing your time, your energy, and your talents in this great university. I hope you can join us at the Faculty of Applied Sciences and Alumni Celebration reception up by the AQ Pond, and the Faculty of Health Sciences and Alumni reception at the Blusson Hall Courtyard, both of which will follow after the ceremony. Congratulations, and welcome to SFU's global community of alumni.
Thank you very much, Patrick. Before the graduands are presented individually to the Chancellor, Mr. Arvin Amini, a member of the graduating class, will provide the graduation address. Yeah, let's have a round of applause. As a student, Arvin enjoyed multiple internships at Microchip and Tesla. He founded the SFU Robot Soccer Club, an activity that blended his love of engineering innovation with his passion for soccer. He continues his high-tech career as a silicon design engineer at Advanced Micro Devices in Santa Clara, California, although he is based here. I'm now pleased to call upon Mr. Amini.
Well, it's a rainy day. I hope it's get better soon. Thank you, Madam Chancellor, Madam President, faculty, family, friends, and of course, my fellow graduates. My name is Arvin Amini, and I'm honored to be the student speaker for this convocation ceremony. First of all, let me congratulate each and every one of you for coming this long way. We did a big thing, all of us. Spent days and nights, skipped trips and parties, or didn't, all to pass the next assignment or exam. Be happy, as this is a major achievement and it took a lot of hard work. Congratulations. There are 2 points that I want to address in my speech, and I'll get some help from a couple of personal anecdotes from my university experience. I, with help of my friends, started the SFU Robot Soccer Club in March 2017 with the goal of competing at the international RoboCup competitions. Wait, what? Robots can play soccer now? Yes, indeed, they can. See, I didn't know if starting a brand new club in my second semester at SFU is the right thing to do. Can I make it happen, knowing that most people in this continent are not even aware of the RoboCup competitions? Will I be able to focus on my schoolwork? Or what is the benefit of this club for the others? And how can I convince students to work on a robot in their spare time instead of having some other fun activity? Out of all the decisions that I have made at SFU, starting this club has been one of the best ones. In my duration at SFU, and we've helped off roughly 100 students over the past 5 years, the robots have been finalized. All those questions that I asked before starting the club are answered. The club recruited many students and taught them how to use industry-level tools, which benefited them greatly by finding the jobs that they love. We did outreach events for middle school students to bring awareness that engineering doesn't have to be hard, and it can be fun. And soon, we are going to represent SFU on the international scene. To get to my first point, I got some help from Steve Jobs' speech at Stanford's 2005 commencement ceremony, where he said, "You cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards." Looking forward, I didn't know if starting the club is the right thing to do and how it could impact the SFU community or more. But looking backward and seeing how many students gathered to work on a shared project like this and how the club has positively impacted the mindset of many prospective students, now I truly understand what Steve Jobs meant and how the dots are connected. Whether you want to continue your career, just take a break and travel, or completely change the path of your life by taking on new challenges, don't be afraid to do so with confidence, and trust that eventually looking back, you will be able to connect the dots. I think now that you're graduating, this is the best that we can do, even though the path ahead might not make sense or connecting the dots seem impossible. I personally think the best way to learn a subject and gain a good grasp on it is by sharing the learning experience with others around you and teaching the limited amount of your own findings to the others. All of us love group projects. There's no doubt in that, especially when you find out your groupmate hasn't finished their part just 5 minutes before the assignment is due. Jokes aside, by sharing an experience with others around you, you'll get the ability to understand the problem that you're trying to tackle better, and at the same time help others to get a better grasp on the problem and accelerate the process of solving. My second point is, don't be afraid of helping someone if you have the knowledge and the ability to do so. Well-established connections with people around us can be empowering and even help us when we need help ourselves. Us humans are social creatures and perform much better with collective effort, even though it might not feel like it. But when you think about it, almost all great achievements of the humankind come from the collective effort of helping each other in tackling problems. For example, space travel and exploring the universe beyond our planet with collective effort of millions across the globe. Or COVID-19 and how everyone collectively helped each other to adjust and fight back against the pandemic. For the Faculty of Health Sciences graduates among us today, I hope you can contribute to bettering the healthcare system and tackle current and future health-related issues. Just don't forget to get some help from us engineers and computer scientists if you need a hand. On a personal note, I want to thank Dr. Ash Parameshwaran for making the journey of getting an engineering degree for me at SFU fun and enjoyable from day one. Dr. Bonnie Gray for being such a great and understanding supervisor for my bachelor's thesis. The FAST co-op office for forcing us in the engineering degree to do 3 semesters of co-op, which I think makes this degree 10 times better and allowed me to intern at Tesla and now work at AMD. Finally, SFU community and the rest of the Faculty of Applied Sciences for providing one of the best university experiences that I could have asked for, despite all the difficulties and unnecessary hardships that some courses and high-level decisions caused. Lastly, I want to thank my family who, without their support, coming all the way across the globe and getting a university degree wouldn't have been possible. All the great friends that I made in my duration at SFU, especially from SFU cheerleading and the engineering program, as well as my friends from high school. I see most of their faces in the crowd, and I'm happy to see you all here. My fellow graduating students, this is it. This is a ceremony that ends our chapter at SFU and starts a brand new chapter in our lives. We are walking away with one of the most expensive pieces of paper that we own to highlight this milestone to us. There's this quote that says, "Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change and the courage to change things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference." If you are contemplating the things that you can and cannot change, err on the side of thinking that you can change. As Nelson Mandela said, everything seems impossible until it's done. Thank you for listening to my speech this afternoon, and let me conclude with a Farsi expression. Payande va sarboland bashid.
Thank you so much, Arvin. We really do have incredible students here at Simon Fraser University. The members of the graduating class will now be presented to the Chancellor to be admitted en masse to their degrees. Will the graduands please rise if you are able? Madam Chancellor, I present to you those scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of this university and request that you confer upon them the degrees for which they are now recommended.
Thank you, Madam President. Well, this is the formal part. Are you ready? Graduands, by virtue of the authority vested in me and in the Senate of this university, I hereby admit you to your various and several degrees. Congratulations. Please be seated.
The members of the graduating class here in Convocation Mall will now be presented individually to the Chancellor. But first, a few requests for those of you in the mall today. Family and friends, we welcome you. We encourage you to applaud, cheer, and share the joy that you have for your graduate as they cross the stage. It might be the only way that you have to keep warm. But as a courtesy to others, please remain seated until the conclusion of the ceremony. Today is a day of celebration. Graduands, after you have crossed the stage, I invite you to return to your seats. Now, the moment that we have all been waiting for, the degrees in the Faculty of Applied Sciences and the Faculty of Health Sciences will now be presented. Madam Chancellor, I invite Associate Dean, Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, Dr. George Agnes, to begin the presentation of those who have earned graduate degrees.
Madam Chancellor, the graduates of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Applied Sciences will now be presented. I invite Dr. Edward Park, Associate Dean, Academic of the Faculty of Applied Sciences, to join us.
Dr. Chow Bao, supervised by Dr. Woo Soo Kim.
The first doctoral recipient, Dr. Chow Bao, is also a recipient of the Dean of Graduate Studies Convocation Medal for Academic Excellence. Approximately 2.5 million individuals in North America have a prosthetic or artificial body part. Dr. Bao's research involved developing sensors to improve the performance of prosthetics. The sensors he designed artificially mimic neurons, receptors, and synapses to give feedback on things we take for granted, such as touch. The results of his studies have generated 10 journal articles and numerous awards. He is now a postdoctoral fellow, designing cost-effective and energy-efficient housing and buildings. Congratulations on these achievements and best wishes. Madam Chancellor, the remaining graduates of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Applied Sciences will now be presented.
Dr. Sabrina Jacqueline Abram, supervised by Dr. James Donnellan. Dr. Ohud Al-Harbi, supervised by Dr. Wolfgang Sturzlinger. Dr. Hyo-min Choi, supervised by Dr. Ivan Bajic. Dr. Sitara Dabiri, supervised by Dr. Mirza Beg. Dr. Jason Derek Epler, supervised by Dr. Bernhard Rebus and Dr. Rodney Vaughn. Dr. Juda Lee, supervised by Dr. Liliana Trajkovic. Dr. Nafise Sedagat, supervised by Dr. Leonid Chindelovich. Dr. Maide Shajayazadeh, supervised by Dr. Carolyn Spari. Dr. Leighton Vermette, supervised by Dr. Parmit Kaur Chalana. Dr. Mohammad Reza Yavari, supervised by Dr. Kamal Gupta.
Madam Chancellor, the graduates of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Health Sciences will now be presented. I invite Dr. Tanya Bubala, Dean of the Faculty of Health Sciences, to join us.
Dr. Amanda Leanne Butler, supervised by Dr. Miriam Laverne.
The first doctoral degree recipient, Dr. Amanda Butler, is also a recipient of the Dean of Graduate Studies Convocation Medal for Academic Excellence. Dr. Butler's research investigated the role that mental health has in individuals suffering from substance abuse and having patterns of criminal justice. The number of individuals with these characteristics has doubled in our communities in the past decade. Moreover, events in the past few weeks highlight the timeliness of new information surrounding mental health. Her informed conclusions will factor into how we as a society can develop effective intervention and policy for the many amongst us having mental health challenges. Dr. Butler's studies were supported through an Endeavour Research Fellowship, Australia, and a Canadian Institute of Health Sciences Doctoral Fellowship. Currently, she is a postdoctoral fellow at McMaster University, where she is studying drug-related harm amongst criminalized individuals. Congratulations and best wishes. Madam Chancellor, the remaining graduates of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Health Sciences will now be presented.
Dr. Krista May Stelkia, supervised by Dr. Jeffrey Reading. Dr. Christopher John Van Veen, supervised by Dr. Marina Morrow.
It's upside down. Oops, of course it might be. Madam Chancellor, the graduates of master's degrees in the Faculty of Applied Sciences will now be presented. I invite Dr. Edward Park, Associate Dean, Academic of the Faculty of Applied Sciences, to join us.
Mojtaba Ahangar Arzati. Arman Singh Atwal. Paranaz Balki. Gardiyawasam Linda Mulage Tushani Tilanj da Silva. Ghazal Mirab Narazam. Satish Panchapakesan. Alejandro Rodriguez Silva. Anahita Sayar. Katie Karlamtse.
Maha Shahadaya. Katie C.
Masasadat Abtahi. Yuza Bian. Fernando Venceslaw Eisensi. Tien Lu. Bilal Atta Nurhusian. Gurmanjeep Singh Thind. Ping Yi Zhang. Samir Ahmed. Saba Akiani. Sebastian Ignacio Alcaino Jaque. Himanshu Aurora. Amar Babu. Hon Wing Eric Chan. Ben Kun Chen. Charlie Peter Chen. Ayush Chopra. Jia Meng Duan. Sayeda Harazu Fatemi. Raksha Harish. Zipan He. Uwe Helm. Yu Hui Hu. Kyun Hu. Bilal Hussein. Roya Javadi. Yuan Ji. Yi Tze Jiang. Tzu Tat Li. Chuan Yun Liu. Hao Kun Liu. Suo Hong Liu. Mona Medizadeh. Mohammad Reza Mohseni. Duong Tuong Hai Nguyen. Sakina Pathanwala. Vignesh Paramal. Syed Hamed Ramani Kezri. Yue Ruan. Ghazal Saheb Jam. Tavleen Singh Sahota. Ali Sedagati. Fandi Shan. Akash Sindhu. Harmanjeet Singh. Jia Chi Tan. Xue Tsong Tan. Anjali Thomas. Jing Yuan Wang. Zheran Xiao. Duo Xu. Parham Yassini. Jia Wen Jiang. Ke Jiang. Xin Yi Zhong. Chen Zhu.
Madam Chancellor, the graduates of master's degrees in the Faculty of Health Sciences will now be presented. I invite Dr. Tanya Bubala, Dean of the Faculty of Health Sciences, to join us.
Gurley Joy Abasta. Adedolapo Ayobami Abe. Rayla Renee Archibald. Marcela Ardengue Prates da Silva. Natalie Reina Aspinall. Manveer Singh Ajla. Riley Ellen Baldwin. Kelly Ban, Rabea Begum, Kyle Chankasing, Eugene Chung, Sophia L. Conradi, Maddie Crabtree, Georgia Farley Eaton Hume, Spencer Aaron Hassanek, Simran Kaur Jawanda, Samira Karsim, Alexander Korzachowski, Lisa May Liu, Yasmin Mezban, Mana Moshkfarouche, Zoe Lorraine Osborne, Omobolade Abimbola Osinoo, Tian Rabani, Diego Rodolfo Sanchez Vasquez, Meg Young Signorelli, Padmini Jepalsin Thakur, Genevieve Lizetta Hanson White, Alana Margit Zapernick, Carolyn C. Harris,
I now acknowledge Joy Kai, a Faculty of Health Sciences graduate student who passed away and is being awarded her graduate diploma posthumously. Joy's partner, Shen Kai Wong, is here with us today to cross the stage in honor of Joy.
Madam Chancellor, I invite the Associate Dean, Academic of the Faculty of Applied Sciences, Dr. Edward Park, to begin the presentation of students earning undergraduate degrees.
Madam Chancellor, the graduates of bachelor's degrees in the Faculty of Applied Sciences will now be presented.
Arvin Amini,
So, as you know already, the first graduate, Mr. Arvin Amini, is the recipient of the Dean's Convocation Medal for Academic Excellence. Arvin graduates with an honors with distinction in biomedical engineering. During his undergraduate degree, he completed multiple internships at Microchip and Tesla, where he contributed to groundbreaking technologies. He is currently a silicon design engineer at Advanced Micro Devices in Santa Clara, California. Madam Chancellor, the remaining graduates of bachelor's degrees in the Faculty of Applied Sciences will now be presented.
Sina Amadian Beruz, Anaf Aziz Anan, Negar Bagari Hariri, Dante James Lupini Bar, Arshdeep Singh Bular, Dennis Dexter Bagetta,
Paul Beloja,
Gershon Brar, Carter Chase Brown, Michael Amadio Celio, Marcus Ka Chun Chan, Suchita Chawla, Takdir Singh Chima, Jonas Chiok, Trevor Nicholas Chow, Branislav Kivjetin, Joshua Brian Fritsch, Luke Alexander Gare, Rachel George, Arsenin Gervasio, Chad Douglas Luke Graham, Keegan Michael John Green, Kiana Hamidi, Afnan Hassan, Matthew Herden, Armin Hosseini, Gurdas Singh Hoti, Kamat Imanaliev, Justin Jia, Hamlet Jiangsu, Thomas Tyler Johnson, Karan Kakar, Jordan David Cam, Tal Kazakov, Ramesh Akhtar Khan, Jonathan Say King, Chan Ho Kim, Jung Kyu Kim, Young Kyu Kim, Amrita Raj Kijaka Putukulatil Ramanan, Jared William Crane, Akshay Kumar, Selikim Fui Kwadzovia, Jun Hyuk Kwan, Kwak Liang Lee, Yik Feng Lee, Yu Long Huron Lee, Kaita Lee, Tian Hao Lee, Chan Wei Liang, Jia Shi Lin, Zi Xiang Lin, Kenneth Xiaoxuan Liu, Tian Xiao Yu, Curtis Wing K. Louis, Victor Lance Pangolinin Luz, Aidan Butterfield McDonald, Amit Kaur Man, Tafadzwa Solomon Allen Mawire. Daiki Miyanabe. Hussam Mohammed. Yogesh Mundra. Takunda Lester Mwinjilo. Darius Nicholas Nadam. Santosh Nandakumar. Justin Ryan Naorbi. Simone Isabel Livera Neufeld. Forbes Kwun Fung Ung. Junaid Ahmed Naushad. Justin Joel Ortiz Luis. Jacob John Clifford Puffer. Siavash Rezgi. Sarush Saheb Pur Ligvan. Amaldeep Singh Samra. Bennett Palmer Yutaka Sasaki. Dustin Su Win Sia. Meena Shalabi. Mohit Sharma. Gurmesh Shergill. Dong Yue Shi. Nicholas Kenzo Skinner. Matthew Brett Smith. Sterling Rourke Smith. Maple E. Lin Kang Sanda Tun Tan. Abdullah Tarek. Isabel Trujillo. Ming Lun Sai. Achini Amadara Jayasena Udaratayalage. Stefan Ungurian. Arian Vafadar Mogadam. Angela Vanya. Laura Natalia Vargas Hortwa. Avital Vechchaser. Chin Ho Wan. Gurjot Singh Warich. Timothy James Wynowski. Diane Amberly Wolf. Johnston Yang. Hania Zahiramani. Bing Chiu Jang. Separ Tamasedpur. Nora Abasi Mohajal. Leo Hezu Abigime. Jean-Pierre Acevedo. Rahul Anand. Arian Ansari. Arian Aurora. Dipanch Aurora. Ali Arshad. Ghazale Azizi Kashi. Zishi Bai. Angad Singh Bajaj. Akash Batal. Quince Jean-Luc Bielka. Ari Botker Blondel. Lawrence Jan Bosman. Ravjot Singh Brar. Duke Fan Boy. Jia Li Tsai, Yuner Tsai, Ziwei Tsai, He Wei Cao, Wei Pan Cao, Yu Hao Cao, Ke Ben Chen Su, Delin Chen, Yi Zhou Chen, Hon Tat Cho, Avery Robert Crespi, Saqib Aziz Duka, Dennis Juby, Ayman Faisal, Firas Maher Faki, Hao Fang, Nikola Filipovich, Chang Hei Matthias Fung, Griffin Dominic Fung, Gerardo Angel Gandeaga, Kushbir Gandam, Sania AJ Gorpade, Gurjeet Singh Gill, Mehtab Singh Gill, Pavan Gill, Georgios Dimitrios Javanis, Shayna Elise Gross, Nicholas Cameron Hagan, Peng Hong, Matthew Malcolm Allard Hanna, Ethan Hinchliff, Nguyen Quinn Nu Wong, Eric Huang, Puya Jamali, Hai Ting Zhen, Zi Yang Jiang, Zi Yong Jin, Christian Kwang Suk John, Adrian Piotr Josiak, Brody Jackson Jung, Ning Yi Ke, Yu Ke, Nathan Darren Key, Hoi Lun Ken, Ali Kamazi, Wasim Mokhtar Khalifi, Kiara Shkianpur, Jake Kim, Yi Un Ku, Dusan Kovacevic, Ilya Krasavin, Matthew Afonso Laflamme, Michael Anthony Lamb, Jaden Lau, Ho Yin Kelvin Lee, Jeremy Wen Kai Lee, Kato Lee, Yen Xiang Brian Lee, Samuel Siu Mun Leong, Chun K Lee, Ting Ting Lee, Shi Lee, Jun Yu Lee, Andrew G. Jin Lim, Felix Lin, Wang Feng Lin, Wei Jie Lin, Bing Nan Liu, Jun Je Liu, Duo Lu, Herman Luo, Devin Lutz, Yang Xin Ma, Yue Ma, David Magarill, Rajat Mangal, Manan Kiran Maniyar, Sarbjot Singh Man, Keegan Joseph McGinnis, Connor Brian McEwen, Siddharth Maglani, Logan James Militzer, Nicholas Bradley Miller, Raghav Mittal, Mingjun Mo, Seno Adi Muhammad, S.M. Shajiban Munjareen, Murtaza Mushtaq, Amir Mehdi Nagibi, Kent Richard Nex, Ka Ho Ngai, Patrick Nguyen, Alyssa Nicole Nicholson, Shariar Kabir Nu, James Nicholas Northway, Miyabie Wisdom Toku Obianime, Alan O, Sergi Padalka, Moinuddin Salimbai Adambai Patel, Rafael V.S. Pena, Shan Ching, Wei Chiu, Jasper Y. Ping Tren, Mohammed Ishratur Rahman, Gurjas Singh Rai, Jasmine Rai, Fabian Samatha, Mohammed Rad Sarar, Devin Saunders, Cameron Daniel Savage, Wei Kai Stanley Sia, Gurkirat Singh Sidhu, Nathan Weston Sims, Agamdeep Singh, Harman Singh, Oscar Chase Smith Seeger, Ole Sokolov, Matthias Amadeus Stroman. Akio Christopher Suzuki. Damun Tamasbi. Jayasurya Anirudh Tatikonda. Michael Tai. Pearson Thomas. Bob Jung Tian. Yao Tong. Kwok Tuong Tran. Stephen Tuan Kiet Tran. Tuan Cam Tru. Jackie Ken Se. Khurshid Vahidi. Jared Richard Van Thurnout. Shirley Vaughn. Anthony Vu. Ivan Vukovic. Christian Liang Sauder Wang. Min Wang. Xu Bin Wang. Zhongliang Wang. Saad Wazir. Caleb Elliott Whitehead. Eric Wong. Jack Richard Wright. Chun Xiao Wu. Jinze Wu. John Wu. Sandy Wu. Yu Qing Wu. Zhen Yu Xiang. Yu Tong Xu. Wael Yakub Aga. Han Yang. Mingda Yang. Yifei Yao. Yizhuo Ye. Solomon Sek Hong Yu. Vincent Dan Yu. Jordan Douglas Yuen. Sahab Zafar.
Chuan Zhang.
Jiahao Zhang. Zize Zhang. Chen Zhao. Yichuan Zheng. Yu Zheng. Yunhao Zheng. Michael Jin Shen Zhou. Yao Zhou. Zhang Yu Zhu.
Madam Chancellor, the student who has completed the requirements for a diploma in the Faculty of Applied Sciences will now be presented.
Dewey An Nguyen.
Madam Chancellor, I invite the Dean of the Faculty of Health Sciences, Dr. Tanya Bubala, to begin the presentation of students earning undergraduate degrees in the Faculty of Health Sciences.
Madam Chancellor, the graduands of the bachelor's degree in the Faculty of Health Sciences will now be presented. The first graduand,
Simran Kaur Purawal.
The first graduand, Ms. Simran Purawal, is the recipient of the Dean's Convocation Medal for Academic Excellence. Simran was deeply engaged in the SFU community as a student leader in the Health Sciences Undergraduate Student Union, as a peer mentor, and as founder and editor-in-chief of the Health Sciences Undergraduate Journal. She published 2 papers as a first author from her involvement in the COVID-19 Canada Health Literacy Study. Madam Chancellor, the remaining graduands of bachelor's degrees in the Faculty of Health Sciences will now be presented.
Chloe Almeida. Emily Rose Anderson. Mary Justine Argume Angeles. Krisha Villanueva Arpaleda. Sani Faze Asen. Prabjot Kaur Atwal. Ashley Ann Bennett. Manmeet Berry. Christian Giordano Bettial. Maya Neelam Bhatti. Ashti Nicole Bedesi. Karndeep Kaur Binning. Genvir Kaur Brar. Jocelyn Lok Yin Chik. Kirkland Joseph Craig. Noor Dacey. Preet Danda. Benvir S. Dillon. Amina Din. Shi Ding. Elaine Lucy Gusiatner. Sophia Maria Gavorsen. Namarta Kaur Grewal. Ramanik Grewal. Sierra Greco. Simran Diman Gurcharan Singh Diman. Catherine Alexandra Holloway. Simran Hoti, Zainab Hussain, Haniz Jamali, Rabina Kaur Jandu, Avneet Kaur Kalan, Ivan Kuznetsov, Jacob Ho Young Lee, Yun Ting Lee, Jenny Lim, Jackson Wei Jie Liu, Maria Teresa Lizarazo, Kara Daniela Locke, Christine Alexandra Lautzik, Roya Malakazgar, Nafani Modi, Pratit Singh Mohar, Helena Marcel Nadam, Huang Feng An Nguyen, V Tai Nguyen, Miranda Emma Nonis, Esohe Sarah Osifo, Kayla May Perrin, Tessa Mackenzie Patterson, Kanchan Podwal, Pamela Alexis Ramos, Danielle Marie Richards, Bethany Hala Shanoon, Madeline Nicole Simmons, Harshdeep Singh, Jamila Sit, Ruby Rocket Howe Spring, Catherine Elizabeth Constance Still, Eunice Tam, Ravneet Kaur Tour, Dominique Trinidad, Radita Tasnim Trisha, Claire Wong, Hannah Lee Victoria Williams Rolston, Jessica Sijie Wu, Cindy Shu, Zhi Yi Yue, Ju Ju, Flourish Semilogo Adeogun, Abena Ohenewa Agyamang, Samiha Maisha Ahmed, Haneen Amhaz, Arash Anvari, Peter Arutunov, Rasaval Singh Ajla, Ria Banwait, Suvneet Kaur Bular, Jessica Naces Balaya. Mason Alexander Block. Aidan Cornelis Edward Bodner. Ishadi Savindra Bagoda. Arjun Singh Brar. Agustin Enrique Bueso Pineda. Madeline May Sue Carter. Gursimran Kaur Chahal. Navneet Chahal. Christy Wing Sum Chan. Nathan Gregory Chan. Jessica Kaur Combo. Shanna Tan Nu Dong. Riley Devon DeBoer. Navjeet Kaur Dami. Arshdeep Dhillon. Kulraj Singh Dhillon. Diana Farhat. Sumaya Farhat Fatahullah. Catherine Fu. Kamal Gakar. Sangita Gill. Joshua Richard Green. Shiho Hayashi. Jillian Lorraine Hightower. Karen Donna Ho. Jenny Huang. Katerina Hronska. Zara Jeffrey. Aisha Jahangir. Inara Nadeem Javani. Caitlin Amanpreet Johal. Emma Christina Jurgensen. Jasmine Kaur Kaint. Marjan Kamali Sarvastani. Ifra Kanwal. Yasamin Kandagi. Gurman Kaur Kangura. Jasreen K. Kangura. Chalani Vimancha Kulasekara. Laura Lassite. Crystal Nikki Lau. Ju Ning Lee. Richard Kai Chow Lee. Eric Wong Lon Lo. Annika Grace Mack. Christina Elizabeth Manning. Deandra Lee McNaught. Nishta Mogla. Rakia Momo. Aidan Morris. Charity Vimbai Mudikwa. Kiana Divya Kaur Nath. Juanita Julius Nyamukama. Dewey Hep Nguyen. Michelle Nguyen. Van An Nguyen. Jaskaran Singh Oberoi. Jung An Ong. Yulia Maria Oros. Arjun Harbanspada. Kim Panganiban. Jeffrey Thomas Parapilli. Dalton Romeo Joe Pereira. Nicole Tammy Pereira. Devin Catherine Philpott. Meyer Metal Quaynor. Balkirt Kaur Rakra. Garinderjit Kaur Randawa. Ivnit Kaur Randawa. Hannah Nicole Rankin. Shabnam Rafi. Jagjot Kaur Rayat. Giselle May Reffel.
Kazra Rostami.
Raymond Matthew Alvarez Sabaton. Daria Sadegian. Manisha Kaur Sangha. Arya Shabandari Guchani. Hieda Sharifi. Pardeep Singh. Parker Ross Burchell Strand. Junissa Ayana Sundarji. Samreen Nadia Syed. Sharouk Tahir. Kimberly Lou Pineda Tanedo. Jia Wei Tang. Sharanvir Singh Tandi. Arshnur Kaur Thin. Yuan Ting. Amrit Tiwana. Nathaniel Talk. Simran Kaur Tour. Erin Nicole Torres. Sophie Vera. Yulia Voloshin. Christina Nicole Wade. Ai Yi Wang. Jia Cheng Wang. Nathan Yu Min Wang. Phoenix Wang. Eleanor Francis Wong. Wilson Yu. Kasim Zafar. Ala Zaidan. Andy Zhang. Hui Yuan Zhang. Yifan Zhang. Shu Jieju.
Madam Chancellor, the Governor General's Gold Medal is awarded to the top 2 graduate students every year who are judged to have the most outstanding records in the graduating class. One of the recipients of the Governor General's Gold Medal for Graduate Studies is from the Faculty of Applied Science. I now ask Dr. Herath Gadara Chinthaka Pantham Dinesh to join me. During his doctoral studies, Dr. Dinesh worked on 2 research projects related to forecasting residential power consumption and on enhancing the quality of 3D models research, which will lead to improving autonomous driving and virtual reality applications. He is now a research scientist at SFU, working in collaboration with York University on fundamental research projects related to graph signal processing. On behalf of SFU, we congratulate Dr. Dinesh on his outstanding achievements. I invite Chancellor Vrooman to join me to present the Governor General's Gold Medal Certificate. Well done. You can have a picture. Do that. Madam Chancellor, the Governor General's Silver Medals are awarded to 2 undergraduate students every year who are judged to have the most outstanding records in the graduating class. Mr. Ethan Hinchcliffe is a recipient of a Governor General's Silver Medal, and I ask him to join me. Pretty impressive. Ethan achieved a cumulative GPA of 4.33 in his computer science degree. In his 3rd year, he identified a security vulnerability in SFU's IT infrastructure, for which he received a certificate of recognition from IT Services. One of his volunteer projects was an application to track and prevent pregnancy deaths in Uganda. He will be working as a software development engineer at Amazon. On behalf of SFU, we congratulate Mr. Hinchcliffe on his outstanding achievements. I invite Chancellor Vrooman to present the Governor General's Silver Medal Certificate. I am going to give extra marks to graduands who are still seated. I see you. I see every one of you. And I'm going to have T-shirts made that I survived the June convocation. So will the graduands please rise as you are able? I am so honored that you are here today, and I congratulate each and every one of you for the completion of your degrees. It is an impressive achievement, and I encourage your friends and family to communicate their hearty congratulations to you by whatever means. For those online and in the mall and members of the platform, please join me in applauding the June 2022 graduates. Okay, now graduates, you're going to have to make a lot of noise now. I'm going to invite you, the members of the graduating class, to reciprocate by applauding your family, friends, faculty and staff, and those who have helped you reach your goals. You may be seated.
I feel slightly awkward saying this because it looks like the majority of the room has already made this conclusion. But friends, this completes the formal awarding of degrees. Some graduates recommended by Senate for degrees today are unable to be present here in Convocation Mall, and their names have therefore not been read out. I now admit them to the appropriate degrees as shown in the program. Before we depart, I have a few thank yous to express. To all of you here and online, thank you so much for joining us. It makes it such a special part of the day. And while an event like this is put forward in a very seamless way, it of course takes hundreds of hours of volunteers from faculty, staff, and students to pull it off. So friends, please join me in giving a hearty congratulations to all those volunteers that made this convocation celebration possible. Thank you. Honored graduates, family, and friends, you're now invited to attend your faculty and alumni celebration reception at the AQ Pond and the Blesson Hall courtyard, where I do believe hot drinks will be served. We look forward to continuing the celebration. This brings to a close the formal part of this afternoon's convocation. Please rise if you're able and remain standing while the platform party recedes. Thank you once again for joining us. Good afternoon.